Hey guys, welcome back to our journey into Python programming. We have covered many new topics. We have gone through each and every topic in very much depth. Now it is needed to take all the things that we have covered and implement them in building some mini projects, some games. So let's start by building our first mini project, that is a guessing game. In this, we are going to build a game where we are going to guess out which number the user has given out. Okay, each time you run out the game, it will be random. What I mean is, if you could recall from what we learned from random, we had a random library from where we can just randomize, we can get randomized number. So each time the system or the code will be run off, it will generate a random number. We will set the range from 1 to 10, and you have to guess which number it has just given off or came. So let's start by writing our first line of code. That is, let's import random. Let's import random. And now let's have a number is equal to random dot randint and 1 comma 10. If we run it off, show you let me show you what it does. Each time you run this particular block of code, that is input 3, okay, it will just give me a random number between 1 to 10. Okay, each time I run it, it will give me a random number. So our task will be to find out this number. So we have a random number. Now let's give player an message. We have to get the player name. We can just greet him. Hey, let's say the player user has given Paul. So we are just gonna greet him that, hey Paul, let's play out this guessing game. So let's take the player name is equal to input, and then hello, what's your name? Okay, whatever the name the user will be giving off right now, it will be stored into the variable player name. Now let's have our number of guesses initially as 0. So we will set a restriction that only you can play this game for 5 times, not more than that. Okay, so let's print, hey, whatever the name will be. So I'm going to use an f string. I'm going to use out an f string over here. Okay, so let's generate the message. Hey, so I'm going to write out the name whichever the user has given. So player underscore name. Okay, hey, whatever the name will be. Let's start the guessing game. Okay, let me greet one more message for this guy. Print. Let's tell him guess a number between 1 and 10. Okay. So our first block is ready. Let's move into the next block where we are actually building out the code. Let's check if it's working or not. How to check it out? Hey, what's your name? Let's write Paul. Hey Paul, let's start the game. Okay, so it should be working. Yeah, everything is quite updated. Let's delete this. Let's keep this. Now let's build the actual logic for the game. So while, let's create an while loop. While number of guesses is less than 0. Okay, we have a variable number of guesses, and when number of is less than 5, we're gonna write 5. Why? Because I want that the user can only get 5 chances to predict out the game. So while number of guesses is less than 5, we are gonna write guess equal to whatever the user will be giving off. So int input and enter enter your guess. Enter your guess. So whatever the user will be giving guess, it will be stored in the variable guess. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase number of guesses equal to plus equal to 1. So each time you run it out, it will just increment number of guesses one at a time. Okay. Now let's create it. If guess is less than number, okay, if whatever the guess user has given it is less than number, it will print your guess is too low. Okay. Now the same thing, if the number is too high, if guess is greater than number, okay, so print your guess is too high. Okay. Now one more case that we are going to have, if guess equal to number, that is the guess is correct. So what it will do is it will break out from the loop. Okay. It will break out from this statement, and then it's gonna come over here. If guess equal to number, we are gonna have print you guess the correct number in, and you can just write out the number over here. Let's change it to str number of guesses, you guess the correct number in, let's write tries. Everything is built up. Now one more thing that we need, if the user was not successfully, then we are going to print you did not guess the number. The number was, let's write plus str number. Okay, so everything has been set off. Let's check. Enter your guess. 5. Number is too high. Let's say 4. Oh, okay, number is too high. So let's say 4. Again, number is too high. 1. Number is too low. 2. You guessed the correct number in 4 tries. Let's increase the readability a bit. Okay, so everything is fine. Let me copy all the code into a single block of line. So let's run this, and then we have our last block of code, that is this one. Let's copy out the complete code over here. Everything is set. Let's copy it out, paste it over here, and let's clean this cell. So everything is set. Now if I run out the game, what's your name? I'm gonna write Paul. Hey Paul, let's start the guessing game. Let's start with 7. So your number is too high. So I have to guess a number less than 7. So let's write out with 2. 2 is again high, so probably we will be having 1. So you guess the correct number in 3 tries. So that's how we can create a guessing game in Python. So that's all for this video. In our next video, we are going to solve one more mini project to get our hand much more dirtier in this. So I hope you enjoyed this quick project. Let's jump into our next video to solve more and more.